The story continues from the fragile but intense conclusion of Twilight. Bella Swan, now deeply attached to Edward Cullen, is experiencing a strange calm after surviving James, but beneath that calm lies a storm waiting to burst. As Bella turns 18, she finds herself worrying not about adulthood but about the passage of time. Edward will remain 17 forever, frozen in the perfection of immortality, while she continues to age. That haunting gap feels like a silent threat to her love. On her birthday, Bella goes to the Cullen house for a small but elegant celebration arranged by Alice. Although Bella dislikes being the center of attention, she agrees to make Alice happy. The evening begins warmly, with the Cullens treating her like family. But everything shatters when Bella accidentally cuts her finger while opening a gift. A single drop of human blood in a house full of vampires triggers danger instantly. Jasper, overwhelmed by instinct, lunges toward Bella. Edward reacts in a split second, throwing her back to protect her, but she falls onto glass and slices her arm open. The sight of blood intensifies the chaos until Carlyle steps in, calmly treating her wound while Edward stands nearby, shaken and guilt-ridden. For Edward, the incident is a terrifying reminder that Bella is not safe around him or his family, no matter how much they try to control their nature. Over the next few days, Edward becomes distant and quiet. Bella senses something is wrong but cannot imagine the scale of his inner conflict. Finally, Edward takes her into the woods for a walk and, in a painful, emotionless tone, tells her they need to end their relationship. He claims his family is leaving Forks and that Bella will never see him again. The words hit her like a physical blow. She pleads with him, but Edward stays cold and firm, insisting that she must forget him. Then he disappears, leaving Bella alone in the forest, heartbroken and in shock. Hours pass until Sam Yulee and his friends find her unconscious and carry her home. What follows is months of emotional numbness for Bella. She drifts through school and home unable to feel or think, her nights filled with nightmares. Charlie watches helplessly as his daughter fades into silence and depression. To help her heal, he urges her to reconnect with friends or return to things she loves, but Bella feels hollow, until one day she discovers something unexpected. When she puts herself in danger, she hears Edward's voice inside her mind, warning her, begging her to stay safe. It feels like a hallucination, but it is so vivid and real that Bella becomes addicted to anything that triggers it. In search of adrenaline, she decides to rebuild 2 old motorcycles with the help of Jacob Black. Their reconnection becomes the emotional turning point in Bella's grief. Jacob is warm, funny, and charming, effortlessly lifting her heavy mood. He becomes her closest friend, and for the first time since Edward's departure, Bella smiles again. As they spend long hours fixing the bikes, Jacob's feelings for her deepen, though Bella remains caught between gratitude and emotional confusion. After a motorcycle crash and more reckless behavior to hear Edward's voice, Jacob begins to worry. He wants to protect her, but soon he faces his own transformation. Jacob suddenly becomes strangely distant, just like Edward did before leaving. Bella confronts him, only to learn that Jacob is undergoing something mysterious, something tied to Sam Yulee's group. When she finally sees Jacob again, he has changed. His hair is cut short, he looks physically stronger, and he carries an intense, restless energy. Jacob reveals the truth. He and others from his tribe are shapeshifters, protectors who transform into giant wolves. Their purpose is to defend their land from vampires. As Bella processes this, another threat emerges. Laurent, a vampire who once traveled with James, returns to Forks. He plans to kill Bella as revenge for James. She nearly dies until a pack of massive wolves chases Laurent away and ultimately kills him. The wolves are Jacob and his friends, and Bella realizes the danger surrounding her never truly left. But a greater danger is on the way. Victoria, James's mate, furious over his death, is hunting Bella with relentless obsession. She wants Edward to suffer exactly as she did, by losing the one he loves. Bella becomes a target again, and the wolves patrol constantly to keep her safe. Meanwhile, her relationship with Jacob deepens into an emotional bond. Jacob hopes she will eventually choose him, believing she deserves someone human and present. Yet Bella's heart still aches for Edward, an ache that no amount of warmth from Jacob can erase. When Alice suddenly returns to Forks, she finds Bella alive and is shocked. She had seen a vision of Bella jumping off a cliff and assumed she died. Bella had jumped, but only for the adrenaline and the hallucination of Edward's voice. Jacob had rescued her. However, the vision reached Edward, who believed Bella was truly dead. Desperate and grieving, Edward decides to provoke the Volturi, the most powerful vampire coven in the world, into killing him. Without Bella, he sees no reason to exist. The Volturi enforce vampire laws, and Edward plans to break the biggest one, revealing himself to humans. Alice tells Bella that Edward is heading to Volterra, Italy. Bella, filled with renewed purpose, races to stop him before it's too late. Their reunion becomes a race against time. Edward is moments away from stepping into sunlight in front of a crowd, which would expose his sparkling vampire skin. Just as he steps out, ready for death, Bella slams into him, pulling him back into the shadows. Edward is stunned, believing he is imagining her. When he touches her and feels her warmth, he realizes she's alive. Their reunion is overwhelmingly emotional, but short-lived. The Volturi guards capture them, leading them before the ancient leaders, Arrow, Keys, and Marcus. Arrow is fascinated by Edward and Bella's relationship, intrigued by Bella's immunity to his powers. Although the Volturi consider killing Bella because she knows too much, Alice convinces them that Bella will eventually become a vampire. They allow the trio to leave, but with a warning: Bella must be turned someday. Back in Forks, complications grow. Jacob is heartbroken to see Bella reunited with Edward, especially after everything he did to protect her. Edward apologizes to Bella for leaving, confessing he believed she would be safer without him. He admits he lied when he said he didn't love her. For Bella, the emotional wound starts to heal, but Jacob now stands between her and the life she once imagined. Edward then makes a vow: he will never leave her again. But the Volturi threat remains. To fully protect Bella, Edward faces a difficult question: should he finally turn her into a vampire, ending her human life but ensuring she remains with him forever? As the story closes, Bella expresses her desire to join his immortal world, not out of fear but because she wants eternity with him. The emotional tension builds as Edward agrees, on one condition: she must marry him first. The request leaves Bella stunned, caught between love, fear, and the uncertain path ahead. Their future now hangs between two worlds, human and immortal, with dangers closing in, friendships fractured, and love tested beyond limits. New Moon ends not with closure but with a promise of transformation, sacrifice, and an intense love story still unfolding.